Hello, my doing weird things, so we're going to turn it off for now. There we go. That's so much better. Welcome back to my channel. Hello. I am doing sprints right now with these lovely people if they would like to introduce themselves. And then I believe Margaret has a question for me that should be interesting.
Sure.
I'm Cal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm Margaret.
All right, so Margaret dropped a bomb on us as bright as we were going live because she has a question for me about Arrow.
It's not a specific question. It's just what do you think of the series in general? Because I am a complete newbie and I had it on my list, my to watch forever. I finally dived in and I'm 6 or 7 episodes out of 23 of season 1. Mm-hmm. And I'm enjoying it, but I'm what is the universe that knows? Think about it.
I think I watched the first season of Arrow. I am in the small minority of people that I don't hate the CW shows. They're not the Marvel shows, which are clearly much better. I've got Bucky Barnes on my screen right now.
What is the CW shows? Is that what's on the
Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl.
Okay, so it's the divide of the characters.
Yeah, so they're the DC shows. So I don't hate it. I think that they took some interesting turns, and I think that you can tell that they have a lower production value than the movies do when it comes.
That's what I thought when I saw 23 episodes. Okay, well the budget.
Some of the cast.
It's $5 per episode.
Some of the writing in certain scenes could use. I stopped both Arrow and The Flash in early scenes, or in early seasons.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed The Flash. I would have kept going with The Flash. I just got busy.
So I stuck around with Arrow for maybe 4 seasons because my mom and I had a mutual crush on Stephen Amell. I actually met him.
I don't blame you.
He is very beautiful.
Yeah,
the show is
production value is low because you don't need it.
Right, just take his shirt off once an episode, and nobody remembers what else happened.
Right? So I feel that Flash is my favorite of the two, just because I think I'm a fan of Barry Allen, and I think that they did a good job of capturing his character in the show based on what I've read in the comics. Arrow, funnily enough, they made Bruce Wayne. They tried to Bruce Wayne Oliver Queen. And the reason they did that is because they wanted to do a Batman show after Smallville, but DC would not let them because Batman is such a big property, or Warner Brothers would not let them. So they took Oliver Queen, who is very much, he's a billionaire, but he's not Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And they made him Bruce Wayne.
It's true. They even pulled in the League of Assassins. They did all of that shit.
Oh my God. I know. And then my other big thing, and don't get me wrong, because from what I've seen, I actually do like Oliver and Felicity, but I am a huge Dinah Ollie stan. So the fact that they mess with Black Canary,
I know,
bugged me. And then they fridge her. So
they fridge her more than once too. They fridge every woman in that show. If there's a woman, there is a refrigerator her size on set. Oh my God.
So, but I at some point we'll go back and finish watching The Flash. I may finish watching Arrow. I don't think I'll watch Supergirl just because I know that one doesn't have a strong romance. So there's that.
And also, it's probably the most embarrassing of the bunch.
Yeah,
it's
so
just it's
So I think what CW did was they went a little too grimdark for Arrow, and I don't think it works as well as The Flash for that reason, because Flash really leans into, this is a superhero show, it is going to be campy. And I think a lot of the time they'll shy away. Now, they do it in more of a cartoonish kind of campy way versus Marvel that leans into the campiness of it, but does it in a very real world.
Yeah. I think Hawkeye is probably my favorite example of a Marvel show that's campy, but also really quality. Yeah. And as much as I do not like Jeremy Renner, Haley Steinfeld's in it, and she's one of the 2 main characters other than him. And she is, yeah.
Okay.
But she started in acting, and she did a really good job of like making it campy and making it fun without it being like stupid, which is the way I kind of feel Supergirl is. Like I'm like, this is for children.
I couldn't get past one episode of that. So,
yeah, it was so bad. So bad.
And I remember watching the movie when I was a kid growing up going, this is so cool. And I don't know if I'd want to watch it now. Yeah.
Trying to figure out which thread I'm supposed to post in the late night crew.
I think just sprints, right? Or like
sprints. There it is. Okay, I see it. I was like, announcements. I don't think I should do it in announcements.
It does make me want to pick up my bow and arrow again, I will say.
Brianna did it in the... Brianna, which channel did you do it in? I don't know which one it was. So, because like they post their reading sprints there, but I don't know that, like, I'm not them. But I know Brianna did in one of them.
Heavy-handed with the commentary.
Drives me nuts that they at everyone every time they post sprints. Though I'm just like, is this
social?
Okay, whatever. I'm not going to try and figure this out right now. What are we all reading tonight? Oh, thank you, Brianna. Yes. Oh, yeah. I have one of his books.
Joe Abercrombie. Nice.
Yeah, this is my second Joe Abercrombie book. I read Half a King, and now I'm reading The Blade itself. So I'm trying like his adult series, and then his, I already tried his YA series, and I loved Half a King. So far, I am liking this a lot as well, but not as much. So
cool.
Nice. And is that
go? Oh, go ahead. Do you want to finish with that book?
No, I was just gonna say, is it like writing style, or the fact that it's more like adult? Do you know yet, or
pacing? It's just pacing. I really love his writing. I think he's a really strong writer, and everything's very gripping. But this is just moving slower, which it's also like double the length, so that makes sense. But I get like bored. So like the other one was so fast. The other one was like, boom, bam, and then he's been thrown into the sea, and you're like, whoa! And then this one's like, and then we tortured someone for 20 pages, and I'm like, oh,
no!
Yeah.
Oh man. What are you reading, Margaret?
I'm reading Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. There is something called the Pachinko Along going on. There's like a dozen people on Voxer that are reading this for April. And so we're all closing in on our final deadline. It's a historical fiction. It starts in like 1900 and has already gone to like 1946. So it's a pretty like family saga book set in
several generations.
Korea. Yeah. And,
I really want to read it. Margaret has convinced me. I mean,
Margaret won.
Margaret S has convinced me already. So if you're liking it too, then that's double the Margaret convincing.
Oh yeah, the writing is really good.
Mags in public, just because I don't want other people picking it up. But you can call me Mags in this live show to prevent confusion. If you would like, Cal, if that makes it easier.
Mags! All right. Mags convinced me.
Anyways. Just don't tell my mother you call me that, because she's
okay. You say things like this like I talk to your mother.
It's a joke. I am going to be reading Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky by Kwame Mbalia. I need to finish this by midnight tonight, and I'm also going to be working on setting up my 2022 TBR in my reading journal, because that's the last spread that I need to do before I am completely done with it and I can start filling stuff out, because I'm done with the video where I'm setting it up. So so for those that are wondering why I am setting this up in April, I'm very bad at setting things up at the right time. So I've just been kind of filling stuff out as I go in the months. And I knew what I wanted to, like, what pages I wanted for the
beautiful,
for this first bit. I always have the same like 5 spreads, so I went ahead and just like kept those out, and then just started the thing. So
this is my spread page. It's come down to this. It's 2 lines per book.
I just like there's something about, and I understand that a lot of people like have moved on to digital bullet journaling, but there's something about being able to like sit down and do this dumb shit that makes me feel calm and happy. So I do it.
And I do mine. It's just not nice.
Especially when you're doing something that uses a different part of your brain, like if you're having a difficult conversation on the phone or something, and you're just like filling in the colors and like designs. That's helpful.
Mine's just not pretty. Like it's just.
I like all the colors.
It's how I get my artsy, like it's how I fulfill my artsy side now that I'm not like really actively doing art or creating art anymore is bullet journaling. Now this is much simpler than I don't know where it is, like my typical, like basically what I do is I take whatever the main washi from whatever that month's theme is I put it there, and then I use some of the color scheme to do stuff like, hold on, let me see, like to do stuff like that. But this is much simpler than my actual bullet journal spreads because I like to get creative with those, and it lets me be crafty and creative in ways.
Is there a bullet journaling term that I don't know for those like progress bars? Because that's a digital kind of concept, and like the thing I think of is the thermometer for fundraisers that we used to do.
It's a progress bar. I just do that like because I like that's basically my currently reading. I have never used all 5 yet because I usually forget about it until the end of the month when I'm putting everything in. So, anyways, but I'm really enjoying this. I'm almost like, I think I have 2 hours left. I'm really enjoying it. I think that Kwame Mbalia is doing a fantastic job of telling the story he's telling. So yeah.
Gum Baby supremacy.
It's funny. I'm listening to the audiobook. I really like it. Gum Baby is a little shrill, but it fits the character. So who do we have? Okay, we have Beth and her books. Hey! We also have Brianna. We have Laura over at Laura's Bookish Corner. Hello. Oh, that's it. Brianna is walking down the aisle to the song from The Flash. Okay. Not a bad choice.
I'm imagining like a theme song, I'm trying
to figure out which song that would be, but it's been so long since I have watched it. If I were to walk down the aisle, I would probably want to walk down to the flight music from How to Train Your Dragon, the first one.
I would walk down the aisle. I actually knew what song I was going to walk down the aisle to before we decided not to spend money.
That's funny. It's funny because like part of me still wants the big wedding and part of me wants to elope so I don't have to deal with my parents.
And all of me just wants to like time travel to a different era when the weddings were done completely differently. So there you go.
That's funny. Yeah. So
we also have Brewy for anybody who's curious.
Hey, Briar. Hi, pretty girl.
She's the best.
He's one of my favorite golden retrievers.
The other one better be Cassie, and that's it.
But there's 2 of them. One of them is Briar, one of them is Cassie, but I couldn't choose between the 2 of them if I wanted to.
That's fair. Cassie is also here. Briar just left because I dared move.
She's like, oh, you're going to move, are you?
Bitch.
So anyways, let's see. Did anybody else? Okay, so Laura is reading the new book by Emily Weberly and Austin Sigma Broca. Is that the book's title or is it? I don't know. If anybody else in the chat wants to chime in with what they are reading while I add the timer in.
R.S. Rook also just showed up.
Yes, I did. I just said hello to them.
Oh, I didn't. I spaced.
You were showing us your dog.
Sounds fair.
So, anyways. All right. Because we're so close to 8:15, we're going to wait until 8:15 to go because With and Without You, that's the name of the book. Nice. Oh, I see. Okay, it was up at top. I didn't catch what that was because that's actually also a no. It's With or Without You is the song.
With or Without You.
There's like 4 different songs by that name, and they are all fantastic. All right.
Yeah. Do you mean the one with or the one with and?
I don't know.
The one with or.
Future Mics.
Or is by Carolyn Levitt, and that's the newest one I know of. So. Oh my goodness! All right, we on?
Hello, we're back. How did we? I have not been keeping track, honestly. How did we do?
I read 50 pages.
Nice. I have 3 hours and 15 minutes left of this book.
Nice.
40 pages.
Nice.
Did a little bit of tweeting.
That happens. I also managed to get this much of my physical TBR or my 2022 TBR down. So should be fun. Anyways,
Laura, I'd say that Six of Crows does count for characters who team up against an enemy.
I think it's like the definition of characters that team up against an enemy.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially considering like Kaz, Nina, and Matthias's dynamic. Like Kaz, Inej, and Jesper are like already on the same side, and like Wylan too. But then like Nina and Matthias are like brought into it, you know?
Okay, wait. So is it against an enemy or with an enemy?
Team up against an enemy.
Okay. I was gonna say, I mean, Zemo, Bucky, and Sam are only 3 crows short of a proper Six of Crows. Let's see. R.S. Rook read 21 pages, but I am reading Being in Nothingness and have been since December, so it's good progress.
Nice.
Is that a nonfiction? Because that's how nonfiction goes for me all the time.
Isn't that like Sartre or something?
Improve this lighting situation. There we go. That's a little bit better.
Yeah, it's Sartre. Okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I started Hood Feminism Thursday, I think. It is very good. Like just in the introduction, there's like four pages in a row that's just got like me underlining stuff and taking notes in the margins. So I'm excited to see where the rest of it goes.
Cool.
So let's see. Laura got 200 pages in what's the word? It's With and Without You, and then have read 5 pages in Six of Crows. Nice.
Awesome.
That's another universe I've only taken a tiny slice out of because I watched the first season of the whatever same universe, but I haven't read Six of Crows.
It's good.
It's very good. It's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. But you also liked Clockwork, whatever it is, and that wasn't my favorite. So I don't know.
Ooh, okay, so Sarah from Sarah the Dreamer, she hated Clockwork Angel, like hated it, and she did her master's thesis on Inej from Six of Crows. Her entire thesis on Inej. So
yeah.
I don't know if that counts for anything.
Sarah would have liked it better if she'd liked Will, but for some reason she just does not like him.
For some reason,
I don't understand
missing something there.
So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's fine. But no, the Six of Crows duology is a very different type of world.
Yeah.
It's much more like, it's much closer to like, say, A Darker Shade of Magic than it is like the Infernal Devices.
That makes sense because that's yeah.
So
that's a tick in the right column. I love that. Yeah.
How are you liking Pachinko?
Really liking it. It's hop skip jumping forward. We're already in 1957. We just went from 53 to 57 in a scene, and I was like, okay, I guess we're just skipping along.
Yeah,
that's good.
She does a really good job of like taking you through history, and then like she'll summarize some stuff, and then it'll be like doing other stuff. And I think she did it. I've read books that have not done that well, and she did it really well.
It's a hard thing to do. So like I haven't checked in on any of the comments that anyone has said because I don't want them to spoil it for me. So it's been like a week plus since I've like logged in our discussion. But one of the things that surprised me at the beginning of this was like, this is the first book I've ever read that reminds me of my own writing in terms of like the quietness, the subtleness, the sort of like mood and setting. And I was like, okay, I like this. I like this as a comp. So yeah, so it's been neat. It's been neat to discover something that feels like home. Yeah.
It made me sad.
Family saga. Yeah.
Yep. And just a whole bunch of shit happens to their family because of the situation that they're in, the time that they're in. Yeah. So it is rough. It is rough. Anyways, let's see. Laura says, the first time I read it, Six of Crows, I did not adore it, so I am rereading it. I don't think listening was the way I should have read it. Interesting. I can see that because there's a lot of like stuff that happens really quickly, and so if you get lost in the audiobook, you're gonna be
hard to recover.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? Kaz did what? Why is he scooping out someone's eye with a spoon?
That is interesting. Yeah.
I stand behind Kaz Brecker in that action.
You heard Inej, you get fucked, okay?
You absolutely, like, you heard Inej, your life is over.
That's it. You guys have a specific type? Like, is it a genre divide that you like to listen to on audiobook, or what do you think?
I'll listen to anything.
I will. So the only thing I've ever had to, like, well, that's not the only. I had to stop the 5th season on audiobook because there was so much going on at the beginning that I kept getting lost. But unless it is something that is that in depth, and I've only had that happen a handful of times, I'll listen to anything except for romance on audio.
Except for romance?
Not audio either.
So it's easier to skip over the sex scenes if I'm not feeling it, if you're reading it physically.
That's exactly why I listen to it on audio, so I can just.
So,
you know,
just also not Demi, and while I am more comfortable with them now, like some of them still do. Like, also, I don't have to worry about my boss accidentally hearing it because my Bluetooth disconnected. I have never had that happen with a romance book, but I did have that happen with like a regular audiobook, and it was at a really weird part.
Okay. When Emma and I were still like pretty early into dating, like for sure one time she got in my car as I was reading an Alexis Hall book, and he was like, I want you to stick this jade thing up my ass. Like, Emma was like, all right.
Yeah, seatbelts right there. It's all, yeah,
Yeah, we're driving to UPS. All right, let's go.
Oh my God. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, there are various things that like if I'm not feeling it, if something's making me uncomfortable, I can skip it much easier if I am because I can skim if I'm reading it versus having to skip ahead. So
the other thing that I found is that if I'm reading like current events, nonfiction, and stuff that I'm reading for research, like background research,
that's right.
I don't audio physically. Like I need to have the ability to highlight, and even though I don't really highlight anymore, it logs in better if I have a physical. Like,
if it's nonfiction, I typically there are I just listened to The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi Coates. But it was a memoir, and it's very conversational in the way that it works. So I had a physical copy in case I wanted to highlight anything, but oh my God, that audiobook.
Yeah.
Perfect. Wow. It was like, it literally, and I say this in my review, it literally felt like you were sitting across from someone in a coffee shop while he was telling you about himself.
Nice.
So, but yeah, other than that, I don't really I'll do anything because for the most part, I am typically okay with, I missed 15 seconds or the last minute. I can catch up later if it's not important.
Yeah.
So.
I read a poetry that went by pretty quickly, and I was like, well, it was lovely to hear the author read her own work, but I'm going to have to listen to it again. Because now I understand the third.
Yeah. That's let's see. It'll give us another little boop boop when it's ready. 3, 2, 1. Mute your mics. And we're back. Let's see what has happened. We have a Bree now. Ooh, let me remove this. We have a Bree now. Okay. So how did we do?
I read 60 pages.
I have 2 hours and 3 minutes left.
I've got about 40 pages done, and I had dinner.
Nice. Also, I finished a whole page, and we've moved on to the next page.
Nice. Cool. Looking good.
Yep. I may need to find something to fill some space, but that's fine. We can deal with that. We can be creative.
Stickers. Always stickers.
Stickers work. So, anyways, how much time has passed in the last 40 pages?
We're up to 1962. So
wow.
Another
year. Really flies through.
Yeah.
Nice. Laura's Bookish Corner got about 35 pages. Nice. Anybody else? How is the Joe Abercrombie? Is the pace picking up at all?
Kind of. But then he added 2 more POVs. So I'm like, oh.
You would have so
much
reading the Live Ship Traders series. Oh my god.
I mean, I read a lot of her writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind that it's slow. It's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to read it for a vlog, and I'd like it to. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I am intrigued though, because like halfway through the book almost, we introduce this girl from a completely different country, way off in the world, on the run from cannibals. And I'm like, what the fuck?
6 degrees. They're gonna hook up somewhere.
Yeah, like where is this going?
That's hard. That's hard though.
That's gonna be fun. I can't wait to read that and then try and figure out what the connections are going to be.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so like we have this like inquisitor in this city torturing people for like corruption and stuff, and we have like a fencing champion guy, and then this girl running from magical cannibals. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like every point of view is so different. So it's definitely like, I think he does a good job of like that, like building very different characters and stuff, but whew, color me along for the ride and not sure what's happening, but
that's a mood.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. RS Rick got another 21 pages of salt done. Nice. That's gotta be fun. I don't think I've ever had to read Sartre.
I haven't read No Exit. Not my jam.
Oh, you know what? I might have read that one.
Me clue. I was gonna ask, since we're talking about characters, if you were getting into any like writing stuff at all, like Camp Nano inspired or anything in your schedule.
I want to do that.
I mean, last time.
So I actually decided that I was not going to try for Camp Nano this year because I was doing BookTube Veda. But I am.
Nice.
That's like my goal, because so I am in this really weird position where I need to read a whole lot more adult fantasy to figure out what like the tone and stuff of adult fantasy is now.
Cannibals.
What?
Cannibals.
So like the tone that I kind of want to go for, although not quite the scope, but the tone I kind of want to go for, because I'm switching from young adult to adult. And just because I've decided I want to be able to follow these characters for longer than I would be able to if they're YA characters, or do stuff with the story that I wouldn't be able to do. And like you could pull a Megan Whalen Turner, but I don't want to have to do that.
That name sounds very familiar, but I can't remember what.
The Thief series, and so the first 2 books, she's like basically she switches point of view every single book, I believe. I've only read 3, but they're all from a different point of view. Because the first book you have first book you have Jen's point of view, the second book you have the Queen's point of view, and there's like a servant's point of view in the third book. And like it's really clever how she's done it, because she's always with a like YA age protagonist while following this marriage, basically, as they get older and stuff like that. But I would like to be able to like follow my characters and like I have ideas for sequel series and like doing stuff with their kids, but I'm just like, I don't know, I just think that this will work better as adult. And I'm trying to aim for more like, I'm going for more like a Darker Shade of Magic, like Six of Crows type vibe than I am for Brandon Sanderson, if that makes sense. Because I can't, I can't.
I've only read one small novella of Sanderson, so I can't really join in terms of like what that really means. But
he is so interconnected, and like he's on the same level as Tolkien, in my opinion, when it comes to like his world building, and the effort that he puts into his stories.
The magic system alone, like.
And he has multiple magic systems.
Yeah.
Like, it totally makes sense that the man's response to stress is to write things, considering how many books he has put out.
Okay.
So, like, Tolkien worked on his stuff for decades and published 1 trilogy and 2 standalones in his lifetime.
1 long book and 1 shorter book.
So, I want to read.
But did Tolkien have cannibals? Possibly. I have no idea.
I could see some of the goblins or the orcs being cannibals, but I'm not. It's been a while.
Yeah, and trolls. The orcs are afraid of trolls too, so yeah.
No, why not? Tolkien gets into some weird Orientalism in his stuff.
Yeah.
And then some like borderline, well, not borderline, but like some low-key
good old mid-century racism. Like,
there's stuff that's like definitely like the man was racist because of the time he lived in, and then there's stuff that's just like everyone, like anti-Semitism was just like something that everyone at that time period had some beliefs of. And so of course he's not questioning the fantasy tropes that he's creating. So like that doesn't make it okay. That just means that it's not as blatant, if that makes sense.
He didn't publish his books until after World War II, though, right? Or was one?
So
what?
The Hobbit came out in 1937 because that's when Bucky read it.
Yeah, that's when Bucky read it. That's how I know.
That is literally my favorite line in the entire series, because I'm like, oh my god, what a freaking nerd.
What series?
So it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So anyways, Hobbit came out in 1930. Lord of the Rings came out much further after.
Okay.
And I believe Tolkien was in World War I, not in World War II. But like because of he wanted to publish it all as one book. And his publisher his printer went, we can't do that.
Got it. Okay, so The Hobbit is the one that's really got it.
Yeah. World War I bit. The Hobbit is the one that is like the real short, fun standalone. Right. And like it's so funny because it's so different in tone for Lord of the Rings, despite being definitely a prequel for it. Mm-hmm. So, and then Lord of the Rings is done so well. You can tell how much care he put into it. And then actually, I don't know if the Silmarillion was published before he died, but the Silmarillion is a lot denser. All right. So, anyways,
back to cannibals.
Back to the cannibals. You poor dear.
Got one more in me.
All right, let's go. Mute your mic. All right, that is it for us, I do believe. I officially finished all of my spreads, and now I've started like filling stuff in.
Nice.
This one should look fun once I've got it completed. It's my 2022 in pixels.
What do the pixels represent?
What?
What do the pixels represent?
They're representing like how many pages I read that day.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, how'd y'all do?
I did another 3-ish. I still got 130 left, but that's definitely doable before bed. My mom called for a few minutes at the end there, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have both of these lovely people linked in the description box. And a girl is going to go to bed now.
I'm so tired.
You guys are both in Eastern, right?
We'll say what?
You're both in Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're well, I'm not actually going to go to bed. I'm going to finish my bullet journal, but
I'm gone.
Yeah,
Cal's already like asleep, so
he's not able to
I
manage.
stopped reading halfway through and just lay there.
Yep, that's Cal. So, anyways, make sure that you check out both of these lovely people, please. Thank you.
I have
the channel.
I have
Subscribe.
something
Yep.
way off the edge. It's not related to comic books, but might be of interest to any of you people. And since it is the eve of May, I figured I'd put this out there. If anyone likes to read, since someone was just reading Star Trek, if anyone likes to read a first half of the 20th century, I do a readathon in May called May of the Moderns, and it's 1901 to 1945. And I've got prompts, I've got a storygraph challenge, I've got giveaways, I've got reading sprints, and yeah. Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, things going on, and hopefully lots of fun. So if you want to read any books written or published first half of the 20th century, I'm your girl for May. So hop on in and check it out.
Nice. We're also, I haven't decided what genre it's going to be, but we're also going to have another weekend Word Nerdathon at the end of May. So I'll put that out there. Is there anything you want to plug, Cal?
Sleep. Cannibal.
Go, remember to get a good night's rest, everybody.
Yep. Oh, and also, please go watch my read with me that I just posted. It's like 3 hours, so it's like one of those things that you put on when you want somebody to just hang out with and read with. But yeah. All right.
Nice.
Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye.